Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Grason, this is Tech With Me, and today I wanted to follow up on a video I did a while back called PC versus console, or I haven't uploaded it yet at the time of filming this, so I don't know exactly what the title is, but it's about PC versus console. This video is going to be kind of a follow-up, but it's going to be more so about why I love PC gaming. What makes it special? Why am I attracted to it? Why is it better than console? Okay, I don't know that I necessarily believe that, but why do some people feel that way? That's what I want to talk about today. So let's segue into my first reason why I am a PC building enthusiast. And that's because PC gaming, PC building is just a lot more personal. Everyone's PC build is slightly different, whether it's the design or the theme or the color, the case, the GPU, the CPU, the RAM, the RGB. There's so much that goes into it that changes it, and a lot of times what makes it so special is the story behind it. The story behind your first PC build, or the story behind this PC build. Maybe you built your first PC with your brother and you hold that memory near and dear to your heart, or maybe you started off with a used Dell Optiplex that you were sure was going to be the best budget gaming PC in the world because you were gonna toss this great 1060 in it that was cheap, and you only spent like $600 to get this perfect mid-end gaming PC, and then you come to realize that it won't work and none of it will, and you pretty much have to do an entire PC build from scratch using only the CPU and RAM from the Dell Optiplex. That's what happened to me. That was my first PC build, but that story I love to tell because it taught me so much about building PCs, and honestly, if I hadn't have gone through that, I wouldn't know nearly as much as I do now, and it really solidified my love for PC gaming. And that wasn't even like my first PC build. Like, that was my first PC that I built, but it wasn't the first PC I ever built. Well, I mean, it was the second, so it was pretty close to it, but my first PC build was actually my little brother's PC. He was building it and I helped him out. We had the computer up on the island in our kitchen and we were building it there. It was made out of granite, so we thought it was probably like the least staticky area that we had in our house. We had literally zero idea what we were doing. We were fairly well researched and we watched a lot of videos about it, but I don't think any amount of doing that really prepares you for your first build without you having done it before. Anyways, we had this computer on top of the island, and on top of the tower, we had this fairly old monitor that I had lying around that we were watching to see if the PC posts. And I'm going to be honest, I don't really remember the rest of what happened. All I remember is somehow the monitor fell off of the PC case, and honestly, who would have guessed that would have happened, right? It fell to the floor and it broke. It was almost as if it was slow motion. Me, my dad, my mom, my little brother, we were all there and we watched it and it smashed to the floor. And all I really remember is my entire family starting to laugh. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that has this story that makes them smile every time they think about it, that comes with their first PC build. You just don't get that kind of experience with a console. You don't get that feeling of putting it together, that story of learning how to build it. The story of your first PC build, the story of learning everything you need to do, all the steps, and the drive to truly make it all come together. That's a feeling all of its own. And that's not the only thing. PCs are so easily repairable and upgradable. I can't think of another device or an item that I own that's quite as repairable as my PC is. I recently was able to add a 2TB NVMe drive to this PC after years of just having a 500 gig solid state as well as a couple large hard drives, and the way it changed the way I look at and use my PC day to day is better by a long shot. It feels amazing that I don't have to think hard about which games I want to keep and which I want to delete. If there's a game I want, I can install it and I don't have to feel bad about it or weigh my options like I used to. Now, to be completely fair, with the arrival of the PS5 or the Xbox Series X, consoles have actually gotten a lot better about this recently. I know the Xbox Series S and the Series X both have little expansion slots built into the back of them that you can pop in, basically like an old school memory card, but a lot better, to add extra storage to these consoles, which is better than it used to be. Now, unfortunately, I believe this slot is completely proprietary, which limits the options you have to upgrade your console, but I guess sometimes any progress is great progress. Now, that being said, I think the PS5 supports any 4th gen PCIe NVMe drive out there, so that is actually really great. But to get back on topic is the ability to form and mold your PC to whatever use case you might have that makes it great. Maybe you're like me and you need more storage, or maybe your use case is changing. Maybe you're going to be doing less gaming and more work, or more video editing, or more photo editing. Being able to add in another stick of RAM or change your CPU or GPU to make this fit your needs is so unlike any other tech item out there. And on the same side of that coin, with upgradability comes repairability. If you're troubleshooting your PC because you've been having issues and your RAM is dying, it is easy to just replace the RAM. You don't have to replace the entire thing. I remember the entire reason I switched to a Ryzen based system to begin with is because the motherboard in my original build just died on me. Now, in my case, I did end up upgrading my CPU, changing my motherboard, and replacing pretty much every part in my PC. But that's more so because when I built my original build, the i7 I had in it was an older generation, and it and the motherboard I had just had no forward compatibility. But to be fair, at least I had options. Definitely more options than an Xbox 360 owner had back in the day when we faced the red rings of death. Does anybody else remember that, or the crazy methods online on how to fix it? I remember trying everything, including wrapping the running Xbox 360 console in a bunch of towels in order to purposely overheat it, because supposedly this would melt and resolder some part back together that fixed it. I don't really know. I got sidetracked again, but back then, if we could have just opened up the Xbox 360 and easily replaced the part that was going bad in it, that would have been such a better experience. I love the ability to do this with a gaming PC or any desktop. If I have a failing hard drive, I don't have to replace the whole computer or take it to a specific technician to repair it. I can just pop out the hard drive and plug in a new SATA drive, and for the most part, I'm perfectly good to go. What else is there? Well, there's also the saving money and the deals that you can get when you're playing on a PC versus a console. Nothing beats the feeling of booting up your PC on the first day of the Steam summer sale or winter sale, adding all of the games on your wish list to your cart, and saving a ton of money while doing it. That's not to mention some websites like G2A, Greenman Gaming, or a bunch of other websites like them. Now, we could debate the morality or ethics around using a website like this. Some people think it's not okay, some people think it's fine, and sometimes the keys are coming from reputable sources and sometimes they're not. But if you're not too concerned about that, it can be a decent way to save some money. PC gaming just gives you a lot of options to buy your games. You don't have to use Steam, and you don't have to use a key reseller. And maybe it's cheaper to buy on Epic, or maybe it's cheaper to buy on GOG. You have options, and there's always a way to shop around to save a little bit of money. There's competition, which leads to better pricing for gamers. Unlike on a console, whether it's Xbox or PlayStation, where you can use the Microsoft Store or the PlayStation Store, their only competition is brick and mortar stores, which cause the prices to kind of remain stagnant, and they don't feel the need to compete with other people to make their prices lower, which kind of makes it harder to save money and get more games. Now, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of these options don't necessarily save me money because I am crazy and will buy a game that I already own on another platform just so I can have it in my Steam library. But if you don't do like me, you can keep your money in your wallet secure. But that's it for this one, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a subscribe. I would love to have you help me hit my goal of 50. We're getting really close. We're over halfway there. And please leave a comment and a like. I would love to hear from you guys. I love having conversations and talking with you. So if you could, that would be awesome. Thank you guys very, very kindly for watching. My name is Grayson, and this has been Tech with Me.